Okay, in order to verify, validate, and answer any of your questions about this program, I'm going to go through this PowerPoint and show you information that you're probably not familiar with. You may be, but in this particular case, Judge Learned Hand said, in America, there's two tax systems, one for the informed and one for the underinformed. Qualified plans like 401ks, IRAs, 403bs are for the underinformed, and now it's time to become informed about the 401k alternative. So to save for retirement, you basically have two choices. You can use a qualified plan, like an IRA, a Roth IRA, a 401k type program. Or you can use a non-qualified plan, like a CD, money market, a life insurance, or some other kind of personal pension plan. It's true, some people still do have corporate pension plans, but corporations are eliminating them as quickly as possible. So after the market crash of 2007 and 2008, CBS, 60 Minutes, and Time Magazine dug deep into the problem and the inherent risks that qualified plans have. They said, there's four primary risks of qualified plans. As you can see here, market losses, high management fees, the future of tax rate increases, and longevity risk. So let's take those one at a time. See, as you can see here, from the 1900s to today, the market consistently goes up and down and has experienced many devastating market crashes. And the average loss is over 47%. Those crashes take place about every 11 years. What you may not know is that the 401k only came into being in the mid-1980s. And as you can see, from 1984 all the way to 2000, you really didn't have to be a smart investor to win on Wall Street. You just simply had to be in the market. Everyone thought they were going to retire with plenty of money back then. Then the devastating crash of 2001 and 2008 hit us, and it changed everything. The second primary risk that was uncovered was high management fees. And here's the thing, the sad fact is the majority of people have absolutely no clue how much money they're paying for their fees to own their 401k. Do you have any idea? Let's take a look at that. So did you know that you're paying two separate fees to own a 401k? That's right. According to the 401k averages book, people are paying between what you see here, the 0.87 to 1.88, just to own the 401k. If you're employed by a really big company, you'll pay less. But if you're employed, like most people, by smaller companies, you could be easily paying 1 to 2% or more. According to Forbes magazine, the average mutual fund fees can run anywhere from 3% to as high as 5%. You're paying about 4% on average. That's not the high, and that's not the low. You can take the 4% you're paying that's the mutual fund fees, and the 1.88 to 2% just to own the 401k. So you end up really paying about 6%. Those fees can eat up about 30% of your savings or more. This is from the Department of Labor, which is available to the general public. So the digital booklet here is about 20 pages long and taken directly from the site of the Department of Labor. It just states clearly that with your 401k is loaded with fees, and it can take a significant amount of your retirement savings when you're a participant and how you allocate your threshold there. So for the past 10 years, U.S. Congress and Wall Street and mutual fund companies were grappling over disclosing how much people truly pay into a 401k. In the past, they kept these fees and costs hidden, but back in February of 2012, as we can see up here, U.S. Congress finally passed a law that allows you to find out how much you're paying for your 401k and the cost of investing in mutual funds in your 401k. If you don't know how much you're paying into your 401k in terms of fees and mutual fund fees, I highly suggest that you call up your 401k administrator and ask them how much you're paying in total fees expressed as a percentage. You probably know the interest rate you pay on your house and on your car, but most people have no clue the interest rate or the fees that they're paying for the retirement plan. So because of that 2012 rule, now you have the right to call up the fiduciary and say, hey, I need to know how much I'm paying in fees expressed as a percentage. Isn't it time you found out? The third inherent risk of these qualified plans is that most people I talk to, they tell me they believe taxes will go up and up and up between now by the time they pass away. So as we can see here, I don't know if you knew this, but to be exact, there's 10,900 people per day retiring until the year 2029. That being said, this is the predicted growth of the baby boom generation. How will the government meet their financial obligations for Social Security, Medicare, and prescription drug plans? Which way will taxes go? As you can see in the chart here, over here on the left, right, there's an increasing bar chart. That's the money the government has to come up with in order to balance the budget. So we see this moving up. And the black line here is the revenue, or what we call income taxes. The bars to the right are rising, and that's the debt the government has to pay for. So let's just take an example. If you made $5,000 a month in a household and have $7,000 a month in bills, then we would have to do something quickly. Most Americans would have to take a second job or reduce those debts. The United States government only has one way to get more revenue. Do you want to guess what that is? For those of you that guessed, you're right, taxes. The chart on the right shows where taxes have been since the early 1900s. Believe it or not, we're paying far less in taxes now than in the past. You look at where we're at now. We're pretty much at the lowest in terms of taxes we've ever seen and about the highest debt you've ever seen. Because the government is on the short on revenue, the odds are that the taxes will continue to go up in order to balance the budget. Wouldn't you agree? So here is an illustration of the usdebtclock.org. These numbers continue to run. If you go to this site over here in the lower left-hand part of this screen, and this is as of November of this year. So it's $20 trillion that we're in debt. That's scary. So here's a simple explanation of how increasing taxes will affect the amount of money you will have left to retire on. Imagine this bill at the top with your 401k here in green. Okay, the green portion is the money you get to keep. However, the red portion is a tax-deferred portion that belongs to the U.S. government, and you have to give back to Uncle Sam. By the way, taxes don't go down. If you're not going to make one single penny on the red portion, if this is all the money sitting in your 401k, then you'll see the growth on the green portion, and the government will see the growth on their red portion. That being said, the only time you make money on the red portion is if taxes actually go down. And we already established that's not likely to happen. So that's the danger of the tax time bomb that you'll experience just when you need the money the most. So how will the government make up for the shortage? Well, the government has limited options, and these are the major three, right? As we can see here, they can raise taxes, they can change the tax brackets, or they can eliminate tax deductions, or they can do all three. By the way, all these are legal ways that Uncle Sam can legally get income to pay for the debt. The next big risk for most seniors is, will I outlive my retirement income? A credible source like AARP did a survey, and 61% of people said they fear running out of money more than they fear dying. If that happens, then all you have is what's known as Social Security. And the average Social Security check is just right around $800. Now let's talk about the 401k alternative, or the tax-free life insurance retirement alternative.